Abducted Chibok girl, Boko Haram husband surrender to Nigerian army in Borno. A former student of government secondary school, Chibok in Borno State, and her husband, a Boko Haram and Islamic State West African province terrorist, have surrendered to the troops of the Nigerian military. The student was among the over 200 abducted by Boko Haram insurgents 7 years ago. On April 14th, 2014, Boko Haram fighters invaded the Borno school and whisked away no fewer than 270 students. Although the surrendered student's identity is yet to be released by the military authorities, it was gathered that she and her husband renounced their membership of the extremist sect. They surrendered and presented themselves to the troops at an unknown location within the Lake Chad region, PR Nigeria quoted a source as saying. The source said that some Boko Haram ISWAP insurgents had voluntarily reached out to the military indicating their interest to surrender and lay down their arms. I love how, or I don't love, I'm being sarcastic here, but it's funny how they're saying they're using such a united pronoun. I mean, it's him, because she was dragged into this, she was abducted. So listen, how she even became a wife. I mean, it's been 7 years, a lot can happen, the mentality can change, but still, they should stop saying, oh, they surrendered their weapons. No, he surrendered his weapons. Exactly, that's what happened. That is what happened. The terrorists' resolve to surrender may not be unconnected with the destruction of their enclaves and camps by the Nigerian military airstrikes and ground bombardments. Okay, sure. And the outbreak of killer diseases together with food scarcity, which have badly hit the terrorists. Arrest them, please. In fact, there are many ISWAP and Boko Haram members that are willing to surrender as soon as possible, but the military and other security services will ensure the needful is done for national security, the officer said. They should tell them, you know what, absolutely, 100%, get them into a home, lock them up. That's what you do. That's what you do. They don't care. But then, unfortunately, with all these girls, it may just be that they have had children and all that, which obviously is very much sad. And it is now conflicting. Do you want to separate a family that was made under the absolutely wrong circumstance? I mean, what the hell? But really and truly, to trap these people, lock them up. Yes, lock them up. In fact, the priority for the girl is to go and meet her parents or meet her family members that are still here to, calm them down. During a recent maiden operational tour of Sector 3 Operation Hadenkai Multinational Joint Task Force in Mongono, the Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya charged troops to be decisive and alert in the fight against the Islamic State West Africa province and Boko Haram terrorists in the northeast Nigeria. While lauding their level of discipline and commitment to duty, General Yahaya admonished them to be political, decisive, and circumspect in all their operational engagements. The Army Chief was accompanied during the tour by the Chief of Operations, Major General Ibrahim Yusuf, and others. Cool. Listen, I've already said it. They should not make this girl make it seem like as if she was joint effort. The circumstance in which she was kidnapped, first of all, a crime, and now she's now married off to a terrorist, a crime. And potentially they may have kids together, and it's just like, what can you actually do? And it's obviously sad, very, very, very sad. And listen, I think there should be like a national anger against people like Sheikh Gumi, honestly, because if we start hearing nonsense, if it is nonsense, if we start hearing unintelligent opinions about how they should be granted amnesty, and because they have surrendered, that now means that we rehabilitate them. Those people will be kicked out of the country. We'll send them to a war zone to go and live there. That's what we're going to do to them. Because really and truly, if anyone starts saying, oh, let us give them amnesty, order. We will kick you out of the country. We'll kick you out of Nigeria. They probably want to go put them somewhere in the sea. That's what we're going to do, because that's what's going to happen. And then, of course, if what's his face, Sheikh Gumi now wants to, start saying and defending these people as well, we'll kick him out. His title as a sheikh needs to be withdrawn, because maybe that is what is getting into his, idea that he has to give his opinions about certain things. We don't blame them. It's the government that made them feel important. But still, listen, I can just sense it. I can just see it. This is foreshadowing. Like, I'm just saying is, like, there are going to be people that are going to be like, let us, give them a chance. Absolutely not. It's not going to happen. Someone says, Nigeria may likely recruit and use them to unleash terror against the innocent and kill and those seeking for freedom. You never really know. Someone here says, how is her husband by forcing her and raping her? Was she given a choice? I hope he's liable for his crimes. Exactly. Tell them. Start using joint pronouns. They, using their weapon. His weapons. In fact, did she consent? She was kidnapped. So anything that happens after she was kidnapped was not by her consent. She did not consent to it. The life that she's had after she was kidnapped was not consented for. She did not agree to be kidnapped. None of the girls agreed to be kidnapped, but then for her to be married, she was probably, if she had kids, she was probably raped. She was raped. She did not consent to that. She did not consent to be her husband. She did not consent to being a joint terrorist with her husband. So when you're saying, they surrendered their weapons, what is that? He surrendered his weapons. He's opening up for surrender. Now adding the little girl into this. 7 years. Do you know what 7 years is? 7 years is a long, long time. Someone that's meant to have finished university and is working, or had a job, or even married properly where she actually wants to be married, or having businesses and traveling the world, and now her life is now 7 years wasted. What? 7 years of trauma and damage. Excuse me. It takes a lot, and we have stories of where people actually stand up and actually get themselves back, but then people don't get themselves back. And would you blame them for it? It absolutely is hard. Absolutely, it is very, very, very hard. Does not make sense. Does not make sense at all. So again, 7 years of her life wasted with a terrorist, and you don't know what she's learning. She might as well just be here, and then her mentality has changed, and she'd probably be okay and understand that what maybe being a terrorist is not that bad. You don't know what they go through there. She was young when she was taken. And I want to say, they surrendered their weapons. Who? He surrendered his weapons. He's a terrorist. Arrest him. Dismember him. That's what needs to happen. Excuse me. Put what you think about it in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe.